afternoon, everyone. This meeting is called to order at 5 o'clock. This is a portion of the meeting designated for comments from the public about matters related to agenda items only. Comments are limited to 3 minutes, with a maximum of 20 minutes allocated for a particular item or topic. To address the governing board, members of the public must submit a completed speaker card to the clerk of the board before the meeting begins. Trustee Moran, do we have any speakers? Okay, thank you. So the board will now adjourn into closed session at 5:01. Okay, good evening. Welcome. The board has returned from closed session and will convene into open session at 6:05. There was no action taken in closed session. The flag salute and student presentation will be led by student leaders from Potter Junior High at this time.
Good evening, President McBride, members of the board, trustees, Superintendent Hazel, and everyone here today. My name is Camila Guzman. I am a 7th grade student at Potter Junior High, and I am a proud member of the FUESD team this year. At this time, I invite everyone to please stand, place your right hand on your heart, and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready? Begin.
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. We are excited to represent Potter Junior High this evening to highlight some of the incredible things happening at our school. Tonight, we'll be sharing 3 key areas: the Great Kindness Challenge, student achievements in English Language Arts, and math, and students involved on campus.
Good evening. I'm Evelyn Vargas, an 8th grade student at Potter Junior High. Let's start with the Great Kindness Challenge. Every year, Potter participates in this global event which promotes kindness and positivity. From decorating the campus with uplifting messages with the Pals Club to random acts of kindness with Potter News Network, Potter Junior High creates a fun and welcoming atmosphere with kindness-themed activities all week long. The associated student body delivers kindness notes during lunch to students and staff and also hosts a kindness bingo card challenge. Participating in the Great Kindness Challenge helps build a stronger, more supportive school community. It reminds us that kindness isn't just a one-time event, it's something we should practice every day.
At Potter Junior High, we are focused on continuing academic growth, especially in English Language Arts and math. This year, we are working towards an important goal: to increase the number of students meeting or exceeding standards on the CAS by 10%. So far, we've made great progress. According to our mid-year STAR data, we've already seen an 8% growth in ELA and a 5% in math. This shows that the hard work of our students, teachers, and staff is paying off. How are your students making this progress? Well, by doing the hard work, and students feel supported by their teachers. At Potter Junior High, we kick off every morning with 30 minutes of skill practice in a program called IXL.
This has really helped me.
It also helped all kids. Our principals track the growth week to week. We also have a big focus on attendance. I mean, you need to be in class and pay attention, right? We also have an after-school reading, homework help, enrichment classes, and clubs that make a difference. And you know what? There were 275 students who earned a 3.67 GPA or above in trimester 1. With continuing effort and support, we're confident that we'll have even more honor roll students next trimester and meet our goal of improvement achievement by the end of the school year.
One of the best things about being a student at Potter Junior High is the variety of ways we can get involved. There's something for everyone. Let's start with electives. We have exciting options like robotics, AVID, yearbook, art, and ASB, where students can explore their interests and develop new skills. Whether it's building robots, planning school events, or creating our yearbook, there's always something fun to do. And when it comes to sport, we have an awesome lineup. Students can join cross country, volleyball, basketball, and field hockey. Plus, we're super excited because co-ed soccer is coming soon. Sports teach us teamwork and perseverance. And our teams are great. I mean, we win all the time. Like last night, the 8th grade basketball team crushed Roosevelt from Oceanside 60-28. Shout out to all the coaches, especially Coach T. The after-school program offers activities like Baile Folclórico, where students celebrate culture through dance, band, where we make music and perform, and drama, where we bring stories to life. All of these activities help us grow as leaders, team players, and creative thinkers. We wanted to bring you a tiny piece of the magic from our talent show last Friday. Please help me welcome the first and second place winners who will share their art with you. Introducing, for second place, Itzel Favela on the piano. And now, first place winner, Simon Jimenez on the violin.
At Potter Junior High, we're building a strong foundation through kindness, academic achievements, and student involvement. We are so thankful for the support of our teachers and staff and all of you, our board of trustees, who make these opportunities possible for us.
Thank you for listening to the Voice of Students through the Infuse Leadership Team. Have a great evening. We're open for questions.
Look like thank you. Wow.
A year. Oh my goodness. That's fantastic. Well, congratulations and thank you for doing
Okay, so we will continue. It is recommended that the governing board approve the minutes of the December 12th, 2024 regular board meeting. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Trustee Goldberg. Do I have a second? Thank you. Trustee Favela, any comments? Okay, so with no comments, I will call for a vote. Trustee Goldberg?
Aye.
Trustee Favela?
Aye.
Trustee Moran?
Aye.
And Trustee Hansen?
Aye.
And I also vote aye, and so the motion passes. Okay. It is recommended the board approve the minutes of the December 16, 2024 annual organization meeting. Do I have a motion? Thank you. A second?
Seconded.
Thank you. Oh, any comments? Okay, I will take a vote. Trustee Favela? Trustee Goldberg?
Aye.
Trustee Moran? And Trustee Henson?
Aye.
And I also vote aye, so that motion passes. Thank you very much. Okay, so now we'll move on to community relations. Dr. Paul, do you have a report to share with us?
Good evening. I do. Just quickly, we've had two folks on our team that have recently retired. That was Mr. Sam Jamal and Mr. J.J. Gambling. Those two gentlemen and their teams support the superintendent and her team over the years. We've welcomed aboard two new folks that will be filling those roles. The first one is Mr. Willie Buell, and the second is Mr. Dan Whitley. And so I'd be happy to introduce them to you and your team whenever we have opportunities to do so throughout the year. But I just want to let you know that those are their replacements. And sad to see them retire, but also excited for them, as you can imagine. That's my update for this evening, unless you have any other questions.
No. Does anyone have any questions for you? No?
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, so continuing with the board, Trustee Goldberg.
Good evening. So I have an opportunity to share a report with you all, and I've got three things that I wanted to just touch on really quickly. I became aware through our superintendent's report that La Paloma has an enrichment program that's available to every student between 2:45 and 3:45 p.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's an awesome program. Assistant Principal Bridget Murray put it together, and I am so grateful because, as we all know, when kids are excited about learning outside of the classroom, when they come to the classroom, they learn more. And studies are showing that happy kids do better in school. So if we're doing the work to provide them these extracurricular activities, like we saw tonight, school becomes a really positive environment where success is just part of having fun. So we want to see that happen more and more, and I'm just really excited that it's happening at La Paloma with this new program. Second piece, we got to meet in a special board development session on Tuesday, which is an open public meeting, but we took 6 hours together to share where we're coming from as your board, right? We are public servants. We are here to help this institution administer a $100 million budget with 1,000 employees that serves 5,167 students. And so it's really important that we know where each other are coming from and identify these shared values that we have in doing this work. And so it was really awesome to be in deep connection with these folks who are up here serving and learn, even though we come from different places, we have a lot of things in common, and we really want to see this the school system serve our kids and help them develop their full potential. So over the next month, we're going to be crafting a succinct synopsis of what we covered on Tuesday, and I'm really excited to share that with y'all when it's ready. Then lastly, some of our schools' buildings are over 70 and 80 years old. And through incredible efforts by our teams, they are kept safe and comfortable places to learn. But we also have some brand new schools on base at Camp Pendleton. And talking with the staff and administration there, I've heard that the kids are just stoked to be there, right? They show up at school and they're in a world-class learning environment. What if we could give that to every one of our students? We have a school facilities development plan that's about doing that. And it's going to be an investment, but we're going to invest in it through a school bond. And that's going to take all of us telling our neighbors who live here in Fallbrook that this is worth it, that this is a big investment. And we can even invest in our school bonds if we get the strategy and the messaging right. But people will be able to invest in our community by passing this school bond that will serve for generations to come. So this is a generational opportunity for us to invest in our school system, to invest in our students, and invest in our community. And I'm really excited to see that effort continue. So those are my 3 items. I'm Frank Golbeck. I'm in Area 1. If you have any questions, come find me. Love to talk with you all. Thank you.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Buenas tardes, todos. love to see my family here in attendance, and want to congratulate my daughter for being courageous. That's what we hear at night, almost on a daily basis, and I love it. I love it. Enjoy every second of it. Well, I want to report that at this moment, my heart and my mind right now is with our immigrant communities. I understand that there's a lot of stress and concern in these moments. And so that's something that's been weighing on my mind very much. As a district that is over 70% Latino, many from mixed status families, immigrant families, as a community whose economy arose from migrant labor, we must stand with these families. I want to state that definitely can count on me and my support. Families should know that all children have a right to a public education regardless of status, and that is law. So it's important that we share this information. It's important that we maintain a safe, secure, welcoming environment for migrant communities. Fallbrook was founded by an immigrant. Vidal Reche was a Canadian immigrant. It's always been part of Fallbrook's history and legacy. And I would like to say that in Spanish as well. En estos momentos, de parte de mi reporte aquí, quiero informar que mis pensamientos, mi corazón ahorita está con las comunidades migrantes. Yo sé que hay mucho temor, hay mucho, pues ya conozco muy bien lo que pasa en nuestras comunidades cuando pasamos por estas épocas. Como un distrito que es más de 70% latino, muchas familias que son de familias mixtas, diciendo que algunos tenemos documentación, algunos no. Una comunidad que creció, se formó por la economía de los migrantes. Tenemos que estar con nuestras comunidades migrantes. Tenemos que estar al lado de ellos. Fallbrook siempre ha sido una comunidad así, siempre ha funcionado. Hasta el mismo fundador de Fallbrook, Vidal Reche, fue un inmigrante canadiense, ¿verdad? Entonces siempre ha sido parte de la historia aquí de esta comunidad. Es importante saber que cada estudiante, sin importar su estado migratorio, tiene un derecho de recibir una educación pública. Es ley. Es importante que nosotros, como directores, como nuestro distrito, informamos a la comunidad que sus escuelas son seguros, ¿verdad? Tienen que ser espacios seguros para nuestras familias y nuestros estudiantes, ¿sí? Ustedes pertenecen aquí. You belong here. And I would also like to end or put a plug in for softball registration. The last days to register are Monday, February 3rd and 4th at Ingold Sports Park. Visit fallbrookgirlssoftball.com for details. Let's have a good softball season. Yeah.
Trustee Moran?
Hello, my name is Maria Moran. I am a trustee of Area 4. This is my first official meeting. I'm honored, extremely honored to be here and to support and to represent every single one of you, parents and children. This is exciting. As Mr. Gobek had stated regarding getting to know each other in the meeting, a special workshop, it was fantastically exciting to get to know my coworkers here and work as a team. I want to work together and be a part of a greater team. From my understanding, this is a great direction this whole school district is going, and I'm super, super excited to be a part of it and also to help out as whatever I can. So mine's is going to be short, but I'm greatly and appreciative, honored that you selected me to be a part of this group. Thank you.
Trustee Henson.
My name is Leif Hansen. I represent Area 2 again. Glad to be here. This is also my first meeting officially as a school board member. Just want you to know, just to reiterate what Mr. Goldbeck said, we all have the highest educational standards for your children in mind and to provide them with a safe and healthy learning environment. We have an exceptional superintendent and teachers here. We want to give them the best tools that we can to provide your children with the best opportunities that they can have. And I also want to reiterate speaking for myself, we are limited to when your kids are in school. We want to have, like Mr. Goldbeck said, we have after school programs. We live in a village, it's known as a village. You are the best advocates for your children. And we want to give you that power and that opportunity to let you know that we're here to support you as the parents. They are your kids. We're elected to give them the best opportunities and tools for their education. We're here to serve you and your children are why we're here. So this is a partnership. I think I speak for the board. Like, we want your input. So please pay attention to when school board meetings happen. We want you involved and we want to hear you out. So thank you for having me. Look forward to it.
Thank you. Okay, and I am Trustee McBride. I'm in Area 5. First of all, I want to say thank you to our talented students and the parents that have that brought them tonight and that they gave us a great performance. I also want to say thank you to the student leaders that came from Potter Junior High. And so next I would like to say that I was honored and privileged to attend the event Wreaths Across America. And that was in December to honor our fallen veterans, and lay wreaths down on their graves and honor them at the Masonic Oakland Cemetery, which takes place every December, one Saturday in December. Also, I had the opportunity to attend the Rotary meeting and join Associate Superintendent Husey and our Superintendent Hazel to celebrate Student of the Month of our youngest little students, and that from the Chote Center. And so they were adorable. They did a fantastic job for little teeny weeny kids that they are just starting to learn stuff. They spoke and they were very, very good. They're already on their way. So would love to have them be in the future, the ones that are here. So, and that's it for me. Thank you very much.
Good evening, trustees, staff, and community members. I always have a long report of things to celebrate that have happened in the district since the last time that we were together. And I have to say, excuse me, 2025 has really started off with quite a number of challenges here in our Fallbrook community. In just 3 short weeks each week, we have endured an emergency. So our first week back, we had a neighborhood house fire in Fallbrook that, of course, caused a lot of anxiety in the community. You know, anytime we see that smoke, we all have a long history of wildfire here in the community. So it really can be very unsettling. We also, the second week of school, as you know, we had a lockdown for one of our schools as our community sheriffs were looking for a felon in the community. So, of course, another emergency text to the community on week 2. And then week 3 also started with another text to the community and email communications. I want to give a shout out to Raul, our communications director in the back, who was available at 4 o'clock in the morning when the fire chief called and notified us of the fire, of the lilac fire that is down in Bonsall, which really, you know, our yes, it is out. Was our lilac fire that was there, and our hearts go out to all of the Bonsall community that was impacted and their schools that were closed. I want to give a shout out to our North County Fire and Chief McReynolds, because I want you to know how close communication we are. They call me on the phone at 4 in the morning to let us know if any of our schools are in danger. And I want you to know we would never keep schools open if there were any, any report of danger for our community. We are very cautious and we follow all of the guidelines, and we keep a very close eye. Our emergency contact system has been activated since the first week of school based on all of the possible power outages. So our facilities team, Bryson, thank you, and Ernie here in the audience, you've been on the ready with plans just in case our schools lose power, or and so I just really want to say there's been so much behind the scenes that our community may not see, that we've been working really hard to let you know the status of any emergency, and then to let you know when that emergency has passed, and just to share as much information as possible. I also want to shout out to our transportation director. You know, we were at a possible power outage and very high wind and fire conditions. And we have an outdoor school in Duluth, which is quite a ways into the hills in Fallbrook. And we were a little bit nervous that we wanted to make sure that those field trips could still happen. But we knew that if there was an emergency, we wanted to be able to get them quickly. So our transportation director we didn't just drop our children off. The bus stayed at Duluth and was there for the learning experience with the kids all day, just to make sure that we were extra safe to be able to transport any children that needed to. So everybody across the community, I want you to know we took it so seriously. We recognize that a number of our families went through some trauma, had to evacuate before the fires were put out. And so I just want to give a shout out to everybody and just thank Fallbrook for coming together as a community like you always do. I'm really hoping next week you get no emergency texts from us, and that we can continue focusing on the great things we do every day at schools, like talent shows and leadership assemblies. I also want to take just a minute and give a very special acknowledgement to Trustee Leif Hansen. You might not know, but he not only serves our district, but he also demonstrates incredible heroism as a firefighter, and he was on the front lines of the Los Angeles fires. And this is one of his very first days off from being back-to-back days upon days fighting the fire. And so I just want to say thank you for fighting the fire for our community to the north, and also being here tonight and supporting us. Few things just about our academics in the spirit of fostering a culture of reading. I'm really, really excited that our books are in. 26,156 books made their way to classrooms. So you might not know, but every teacher in the district was given $2,000 to buy new books for the students in their classrooms. And those books are arriving and they're getting put on the shelves, and there's beautiful cozy spaces. And our Ed Services team spent hours putting those orders together, and our budget and finance team, Lindsay, our director, hours of putting the orders and processing them. Lots of our custodians put the bookshelves together and helped support the Cozy Corner. So it really was an amazing group effort in celebrating reading. One final thing that I would like to share is that I had an opportunity to go to our DLAC meeting, and these are some amazing, hardworking women that run our district DLAC. They stayed till late in the night, till 8 o'clock, discussing our community survey that we want to send out. A Customer service is really important to me. It's really important to the board. It's really important to all of our leaders in Fallbrook, our parents, our VIPs. And we need to make sure that we continue to stay relevant and continue to ensure that we're meeting your needs. And so you'll see a community survey that's coming out. We're going to ask everybody to take it, to give your feedback about what's going well in Fallbrook, what areas you feel like need to improve. And finally, a shout out to Potter and to Fallbrook STEM. I had my first walkthroughs of the year at both of those schools, and I want you to know that students are working hard. Teachers had the kids engaged in all kinds of learning activities. In the AVID class at Potter, students were working on a tutorial where they were teaching each other, which was fantastic. I walked into the dual language program and kids were working on writing an essay. Fallbrook STEM intervention teachers were working with students, our youngest learners, on learning their reading skills. So just we've got, like you said, we've got amazing teachers and staff here in Fallbrook that support our students. I get to see it every day in classrooms, so I just like to share it a little bit with you. So that's my report for tonight.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay, now it is time to honor our students and recognize the attendance and reading achievements of our schools and our students. So since August of 2024, students of Fallbrook have read over 3,720,641 minutes. And we would like to honor the following students for being recognized readers at their school for the month of December and for participating in the December Reading Wrap-Up Challenge. You say that really fast. I don't think I strummed. Students, we are so proud of you. Being a strong reader will unlock the doors to success in your future studies and in your future careers. We hope you carry this joy and love for reading throughout your life. Congratulations, and please come up when your name is called and we will take a picture of you also. So beginning with Omar Blancas, first grade at Fallbrook STEM Academy. Absolutely. Stay here. Very good. Next is Julian Tarango, in third grade at La Paloma Elementary. Thank you. Next is Carter Rodriguez at fifth grade at Live Oak Elementary. And next is next is Tiago Burnham. From the Cunha second grade from May Alice. So next is Avery Johnson, fifth grader from San Onofre School. Next, thank you. Yes. Next is Brittany Martinez Perez, sixth grade, from William H. Frazier Elementary. Next is Sasha Johnson, fourth grader from Mary Faye Pendleton School. And last but not least is Jared, and I believe it's pronounced Bechtal. Yes, seventh grader at Potter Junior High. If you wouldn't mind coming up, and we'll take a big group photo with all the students. Our director of communications will take one photo and then film you out of the way and share as many photos as you want. Okay. Okay, at this time, I would also like to honor La Paloma for having the highest participation rate across the district, with 97.4% of their students logged in and tracking minutes. Thank you, Amy Pleat, for encouraging your students and fostering a love of reading at your school. So strong attendance is so important because it's key to learning. When students are in school constantly, they have the best chance to grow, develop, succeed, and succeed academically. That's why we're excited to recognize schools for their efforts in promoting strong attendance. This month, I'm proud to announce La Paloma Elementary had the highest average daily attendance. Congratulations to the staff, the students, the families of La Paloma Elementary for the outstanding achievement. Your commitment to being present every day sets a wonderful example. Okay, thank you. Congratulations. Let's take a picture. Okay, this is the portion of our meeting designated for comments from the public about non-agenda items, but within the subject matter jurisdiction of the board. Should individuals wish to comment on items on the present agenda, they may also do so during this portion of the meeting or at the time the item is considered by the board. Comments are limited to 3 minutes, with a maximum of 20 minutes allocated for a particular item or topic. While the Brown Act allows the board to hear issues within its jurisdiction from the public that are not on the agenda, it only allows the board to respond in a very limited manner, such as providing direction to the staff. If the board were to have more than this type of brief discussion on an item not on the agenda, it could be a violation of the Brown Act's rules for posting the agenda. To address the governing board, members of the public must have submitted a completed speaker card to the clerk of the board before the open session portion of the meeting began. So at the Fallbrook Union Elementary School District, we are dedicated to creating a respectful and welcoming environment for everyone. Our staff is committed to treating parents and community members with respect, and we kindly ask for the same in return. This commitment ensures our schools and offices remain safe and free from disruption. This fostering a positive environment for learning and collaboration. While this policy supports free expression, it also emphasizes the importance of mutual respect and civility. To set an example for our students and our community, the district encourages open and positive communication and discourages foul language, hostile or aggressive behavior. Thank you for partnering with us in promoting a safe and supported atmosphere for our students, our staff, and our families. Trustee Moran, do we have any speakers?
Yes, we do. The first speaker is Leticia Maldonado Stampo.
Thank you. I'm going to ask to, you would indulge me if I start coughing, if you could please give me a few extra seconds. Good evening, school board trustees, staff, and community members. There's lots of exciting stuff that's going on here. Team building, happy kids, improvements of schools, reading awards. But tonight, there are families and homes and apartments all over this building extremely worried about their children, their safety, to the point of vomiting. I know because I have seen it and I have smelled it. I'm here tonight to ask you what you are planning to do to make sure that our children and their families are safe and protected in the face of this untenable position and policy that the White House administration is implementing against not just immigrant families, but all marginalized folks. Your primary responsibility, your sworn duty as board members, is to our children. We have children that are terrified that they will be taken from their parents, that their parents will be taken from them, off the streets, out of their homes, taken from our classrooms. And this is not hyperbole. This is a real fear. And if you don't believe it, then shame on you, for you have no idea who you are supposed to be caring for. It is unimaginable to me and thousands of people here in Fallbrook that you as a board have not bothered to address this real fear that is right under your nose. School districts throughout the country are hunkering down and taking steps to make sure that their immigrant children know they are safe and protected. Why haven't you? You have one responsibility, and that is to do what's best for this community's school children and their families. Parents are required to send their children to school. They trust you with their most precious beings. You have no greater responsibility than the protection of these little people. They, by law, have the right to a public education, and you, by law, are responsible for their safety. In my lifetime, and in some of yours as well, The law allowed for schools to segregate minority children from white, poor children from wealthier children, disabled children from able-bodied. Some states went so far as to say that Latino children didn't even have to go to school because they were needed to harvest crops. That was the law. But there were people out there who challenged those laws because they weren't right, they weren't fair, they were unjust. You are fortunate to have not experienced this vomiting, and you shouldn't have to know that what is happening around us is wrong and is real. This is not politics. This is human empathy. Get your heads out of your politics and do the humane and right thing. Thank you.
Okay. Next.
Second person is Annabeth Yalan.
I'm gonna try my best. I'm also coming out of a cold, so excuse me if I first start coughing. Good evening, cabinet, board. I'm here as a community member, and as Ms. Salmos was mentioning, we do have that issue that unfortunately is quite sensitive, and there is no. I feel like parents, students, primary students are going to be getting impacted by it, and our school district should address it. I encourage for our board and our district to send a communication because lots of miscommunication is being put out in the community, and our children are going to be impacted. I also would like to have our children with social emotional support for them to know what is out there and how our district is going to support them regardless of their status, regardless of status primarily. I brought with me, it was shared by one of our parents. It's a little red card, and I'm going to leave it for you guys to look at and see if this is something that can be provided to our families that might be impacted by it. It's a very small, and it provides them their rights on what to do. Many parents in our community are at fear that by dropping their kids at school, picking them up, they might be also looking into immigration being on campus. So it is important that at a point our board does address this issue. Thank you.
Anyone else? No, just two. Okay. All right. All right, we'll go on to educational services. So Tavka Bustani, Assistant Superintendent, Educational Services, will provide a brief presentation on the school accountability report cards.
Good evening, esteemed trustees and Superintendent Hazel, members of the Fallbrook community. It's a privilege to be here with you this evening to provide you with an update on our School Accountability Report Card, otherwise known as SARC. This evening, I am honored to be joined by a very special guest, Jessie James, a remarkable 6th grade student from Live Oak Elementary. Jessie embodies the spirit of our schools through her actions, her leadership, and her dedication to learning. She is an exemplary student who sets a positive example for her peers, demonstrating both academic excellence and strong character. That's what we want for every student here in Fallbrook. Jessie's favorite subject is English, particularly writing, where she thrives in expressing her creativity and ideas. Outside of the classroom, she enjoys reading and playing water polo, balancing her academic and extracurricular passions with enthusiasm. It is an absolute honor to introduce to you Jessie James.
Good evening, Board Trustees and Superintendent Hazel. My name is Jesse James, and I'm excited to be here tonight to give you an overview of our School Accountability Report Card. To assist you in understanding the information, we've provided each of you with a sample report card from the school you represent.
State law requires schools receiving state funding to prepare and distribute the SARC. The SARC is designed to provide parents, community members, and our partners with important information about our school's performance, demographics, and resources. It also helps to ensure transparency and accountability, two values we hold close to the heart here in Fallbrook. It showcases our efforts to meet state and local educational standards and also to identify areas of growth. And I stand in front of you today to let you know that we have identified areas of strength, but we also are a system that focuses on continuous improvement. We know our gaps and we are taking swift action to address them. The public may also use SARC to evaluate and compare schools on a variety of indicators. A really important thing to know is that the SARC encompasses both last year's, a mix of previous year's data and current year data. So as you're reviewing it, keep in mind that it's a mix of different data resources. State law encourages schools to make a concerted effort to notify parents of the purpose of the SARC. Specifically, schools are required to notify all parents about the availability of the SARC and to provide them with instructions on how it can be obtained both through the internet and by paper upon request. SARCs are required to be posted online by February 1st.
School report cards share important information about the school and its students. They usually start with a profile that explains the school's mission, goals, and accomplishments. Each school's SARC includes information about the students and the teachers, details about safety and the school's environment, test scores and academic progress, how many students are in each class, facts about the people helping us learn, the curriculum we use to help us achieve, and how the school spends its budget. We will now provide an overview of each bullet point listed on this slide. Let's start with demographic data. Each school's SARC shares detailed information about the students in our community, like how many students attend, their backgrounds, and other important details. In Fallbrook, our schools are home to a diverse and vibrant group of students who bring so many unique perspectives and strengths.
The SARC includes information about safety and climate to ensure transparency, highlights the school's commitment to a secure and supportive learning environment, and foster trust with parents and community. The school facilities inspection tool highlights cleanliness, facility safety, play areas, and school grounds. All the data in these reports are public and come from the CDE DataQuest website. The DataQuest is a California Department of Education's web-based data reporting system for publicly reporting information about California's students, teachers, and schools. This tool provides access to a variety of reports, including school performance, test results, enrollment data, English learner progress data, and behavioral data. As you know, we are a culture of data, and we use data to identify areas of growth and also identify areas of improvement. And we make that data public to our community, and we provide you, the board members, with ongoing updates throughout the year, the beginning of the year, mid-year, and end of the year. We want to be transparent with you, and we want to share with you the strengths, but also how we are addressing gaps in student achievement.
The SARC includes information about class sizes to show how many students are in each classroom on average. It shows it in a variety of ways. Smaller class sizes are important for us as students because it means teachers can spend more time with each of us. It also helps make the classroom feel less crowded and more focused on our individual needs.
The SARC also includes important information about the teachers and the staff at the school, such as the number of teachers, their qualifications, and the level of experience they bring to the classroom. This information helps parents in the community understand the qualification and expertise of educators working with their children, and demonstrates the school's commitment to providing quality and equity in educational experiences. We all know here in Fallbrook, our students have amazing teachers. Our staff are brilliant, they're dedicated, and they're committed, and they work together to ensure the needs of the whole child, both academically and social emotionally. They create positive environments to ensure students are thriving and excelling on many levels.
The SARC also provides important information about the curriculum we use at school, including the subject areas, the publishers of the textbooks, and the year when the curriculum was adopted. The SARC includes the Williams Report, which ensures that our school has the right materials and resources for every student to succeed. This all helps us understand how our teachers are making learning exciting and challenging for everyone.
In addition, the SARC provides key financial insights, including the per-pupil expenditure, which illustrates the investments made in each student to enhance their learning experience. It also highlights the average teacher salary, showcasing our commitment to attracting and retaining quality educators here in Fallbrook. Additionally, the SARC outlines the services funded by a variety of programs. At FUESD, our funding prioritizes both academic and social emotional supports. And that is one thing that is the hallmark at the heart of Fallbrook. We attend to all aspects of the child, socially, emotionally, behaviorally, getting them on school, on time, every day, attendance, and academics. When we say we speak to the needs of the whole child, this is a district that stands behind that in terms of how we're allocating our resources to support students.
Thank you for giving me this chance to speak on behalf of all the amazing students in our district. We appreciate your support and commitment to our success. We would like to open the floor for any questions or comments.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Bustiani, and thank you to our student leader. You did a great job up there. It was really impressive. I don't think I could have pronounced those things that smoothly. Thank you. All right, so we have these reports for all of our schools. There's some really interesting data, and it's all publicly available. I love that. And we've touched on a lot of this data throughout the year, right? The standardized assessments point out these trends, and there are a lot of opportunities to continue the improvement that we've seen over the last year, which is just the first year of Superintendent Hazel's administration with her team, this staff. It seems that the key strategy in place to continue the improvement is the professional learning communities. Is that the right way to think about this? That by the teachers capitalizing on best practices and teaching each other what's working to help their students really engage this curriculum and improve, that's what we're putting our major chips behind. But is that the right way to think about this?
Among many factors, that is one. In addition, we know that the number one factor that moves the dial on student learning is the quality of teacher practice. So what happens in the classroom between a child and a student, the quality of what we call tier 1 instruction, are they keeping every student engaged? Are they delivering lessons that are at grade level? Are they tracking students every day to make sure that they don't fall behind? So yes, we do invest in professional learning communities, and we've invested it on a macro level, meaning we bring grade levels together almost every month, and they share best practices, and they share data on common assessments. In addition, sites have also implemented PLC wheels. So teachers come together every 2 weeks by name and by need, and they drill down to what students need in their learning, and they provide those supports. And of course, at the heart of PLCs is they share best practices. And so, yes, PLCs are a driver of school improvement, and we would say are a key element in the reform and the transformation and the growth of our schools. However, it is what happens in the classroom, and the teachers here in Fallbrook work tirelessly to provide quality, solid Tier 1 instruction.
Thank you.
Thank you for presenting and sharing this information. These reports will live on our websites, right? So
Absolutely.
Parents will be able to access, read these as well. Very thorough. I really like how these reports touch on so many aspects, not just academics, but even facilities, how our salaries compare to the state. So it's I really enjoy looking through these reports. A question I had was in regards to facilities. I understand, and thank you for getting the answers ahead of time. I think this is a question that would be good to share or speak to, just the schedule or how facilities will be addressing some of the concerns that some of our schools have. And one that stands out in particular is the painting of Fallbrook STEM.
I will defer to my colleague, Assistant Superintendent of Business Services, to address that great question. So thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Favela, for that question. We have a plan for this summer to engage in some of the repairs that need to be happening at some of our schools. Of course, our maintenance and operations team on an ongoing basis do repairs here and there, but the major repairs are going to be happening in the summer.
Good. Thank you.
Absolutely.
I have one more question. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, is there any other comments or questions?
Trustee Favela, do you mind if I add just a little more? Based on the report that we received, our schools, one of our schools received an exceptional, which is 99 to 100% compliance. The others were good, which means 90 to 98. And when we're talking about schools that are 60, 70, and possibly 80 years old, that's an exceptional score. And that is due to the leadership of our director of maintenance, our lead custodian, Ernie Garcia's, Mr. Bryson, and our team that work arduously every single day to ensure that they provide a clean and safe environment. Thank you.
Right. I'm glad you pointed that out. They were all good, and then one was exemplary. Yeah, that's good. I would just like to address a question regarding student groups. So the question I had was, and I know the reports have to be reported as is, but I'm wondering if in some way it would be possible to disaggregate the Latino population, because we know that within the Latino population there are English learners, newcomers, migrant, and you have reclassified, and then you have students that are English speakers entering school. So it's I'm interested to see how that breakdown would look if we could get that at some point in the future. Yeah.
My staff, we can work on that for you.
Thank you.
Wonderful question, though.
Mr. President, I have a follow-on for the facilities question. That assessment, what entity does the assessment of the facilities?
Maintenance and operations.
Thank you.
Just to clarify, so make sure I heard this right. Is the school on bases? They're the newest ones, correct? Is it fair to say the feds were involved in funding that more? That makes, okay. That's.
We got a very large.
Any additional questions?
No questions, just a comment. It was an amazing layout, and Sounds like a great direction and successes. And I love the enthusiasm and especially her presentation. She did absolutely wonderful. And thank you. Thank you for everything.
Thank you so much. She's so articulate and she represents the faces of our Fallbrook students. And we made a commitment to have presentations co-facilitated by students because I'm sure they want to hear more from them than from us. So in honor of our student presenter, Jessie James, we have a very special recognition and we want to thank her parent joining us here this evening for your patience. I know it's a late evening, but we are so proud and honored of your daughter. She's so articulate and what a leader. We now seek board approval that the SARC meets all the legal requirements.
Thank you. Yes. Okay, so it is recommended the governing board approve the School Accountability Report Card, SARC, for the following sites: Fallbrook STEM Academy, Fallbrook Virtual Academy, La Paloma Elementary School, Live Oak Elementary School, May Alice Elementary School, Mary Faye Pendleton School, Potter Junior High School, San Onofre School, Santa Margarita Academy, and William H. Frazier Elementary School. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Thank you. A second?
Second.
Thank you very much. Any comments? No comments? I will take a vote. So Trustee Henson?
Aye.
Trustee Moran?
Aye.
Trustee Favela?
Aye.
Trustee Goldbeck?
Aye.
And I also vote aye, so the motion passes. Next, it is recommended the governing board adopt the instructional calendars for the 2025-26 and 26-27 school years. Do I have a motion?
Motion to accept.
Thank you. A second?
Seconded.
Thank you. Any comments? Well,
I
yeah.
think it would be good to note that these calendars were made in sync with the high school,
Yes.
right? Yeah,
Yes.
that's very good.
For the first time in living memory.
Yes. Yes, this is the first time that we collaborated with the high school for this calendars. Yeah.
I want to appreciate our high school superintendent who works really well with us to ensure a seamless experience for the students in Fallbrook. So a shout out to her.
Thank you. So, so with motions in, I would take a vote. Trustee Goldbeck?
Aye.
Trustee Favela?
Aye.
Trustee Moran?
Aye.
And Trustee Henson?
Aye.
I also vote aye, so that motion passes. Thank you very much. This is the first reading of the 25-26 My Chote Center for Early Childhood Development Instructional Calendar. Informative. Williams Complaints, second quarter report. The quarterly report of Williams Complaints is presented to the governing board as required by Education Code 35186. We are pleased to report that no complaints were filed with any school or department in the district during the second quarter. Informative workshop and conference attendance. We are pleased to support our teachers, and our staff to continue their professional learning as they participate in conferences, enabling them to perform their duties and remain up to date on new policies and procedures impacting their roles. Moving on to business services. So in 2024, 23, 24, there was audit report, summary of the audit's results, financial statements for the fiscal year ending in June 30th, 2024. The auditors issued an unmodified report with no material weaknesses or deficiencies reported. Federal awards for the fiscal year ended on June 30th, 2024. The auditors issued an unmodified report with no material weaknesses or deficiencies reported. State awards for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2024. The auditors issued an unmodified report. So then going on to the consent agenda. It is recommended the board approve the consent agenda as presented. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Thank you. A second, I'm sorry?
Second.
Thank you. Any comments? Okay, I will take a vote.
Sorry, Ms. McBride. I just want to state that we've been with our auditor for over 14 years, and we're considering a contract for another 3. So that would take us to 17 years with one auditing firm.
Excuse me.
Yep.
For that, we will need you to put out a consent. This is not something to be discussed at this time because it's not on the consent. But you can make a motion to put out a consent.
I move that we pull out the Nigro auditing services aspect of the consent agenda and just have a brief discussion on it.
Okay.
I'll
Okay.
motion that.
So, someone want to second that?
I second.
Okay. Then now we can move on.
And we call the question to remove it from the consent agenda. So that's just a quick vote to move it from the consent agenda, and then we can pass the consent agenda and then talk about the auditing services.
Okay. All right. And so for removing it, I'm going to take a vote at this time. So, Trustee Goldbeck,
Aye.
Trustee Favela,
Aye.
Trustee Moran,
Aye.
Trustee Henson.
Aye.
And I also say call aye. So the motion passes.
So then we can get back to passing the consent agenda without the Nigro, and then we can do the Nigro.
Mhm. Okay. So now on to the consent agenda. It is recommended the governing board approve the consent agenda as presented. Do I have a motion?
It would technically be as modified. I move that we approve the consent agenda as modified.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, I will take a vote. Trustee Henson?
Aye.
Trustee Moran?
Aye.
Trustee Favela?
Aye.
Trustee Goldbeck?
Aye.
And I also vote aye, so, with the modification. Okay. And with that, the meeting is adjourned.
No, Mary, sorry. So we pull this out as a separate agenda item, and so now we get to have that discussion because it's not part of the consent agenda. That's okay. All right. So just with this on its own item on the agenda, we've had this auditor for 14 years, since 2011. Or we're going into 14th year, and then we're signing a contract to go in for 2 more years after that. So that would take us to 16 years. What I understand from business and administration best practice, you want to switch up your auditor every 5 years or so that no blind spots start to develop. And I went to school in a school district where there was like not saying that this is happening at all or that I have any inklings of this, but someone went to jail because they were laundering money through the school district. And I don't want that to happen, and we're partially responsible for that as school board members. In fact, we are legally responsible for that. So I am just aware that it might be wise to consider a new auditing firm in the near future. And I only have a 2-year term before I run for re-election, so this contract would run through that period. If I'm here in 2 years, then I'll probably bring this up then, but I just want my fellow board members to know that it is best practice, as I understand it, to rotate your auditor every 5 years, and it does take some staff time, it does take some dollars, it does take a whole complex request for proposals and interviewing potential services, and then it interrupts the flow between the financial team and the auditor team. But I think that there is a benefit to that, of getting fresh eyes and potentially identifying things that might have slipped through the cracks or gone under the radar. And when this comes up in the future, I would like us to consider another auditing firm.
I like where your head's at. Just being my first meeting, I got a question based on what you said. If it's based every 5 years, why have we been with them for 17?
It's best practice, right? It's not like a legal requirement.
It's not written in stone. It's not like, hey, you shall. It's a suggestion.
Yes.
So is this firm just been with us because they're good relationships, they've done well? Like, just I'm not accusing. I just yeah.
Yeah, I provide some context here. This is my first year. Found out that we didn't have application for about 50% of those kids, and we have already fixed that, but because of Nigel and Nigel, we're in a good place right now to be certified again before Friday. So for that reason, it is my effort to do another I will refer to it.
Thank you. Thank you, Armando. I appreciate that input. I think that, while switching auditors periodically can have its benefits, it was the opinion of one trainer at a training session, and we work with the county office. It's not something that is widely implemented across all of school districts. If you collect information, for a variety of reasons, people do stay with auditors longer because they do know your system. They can sometimes pinpoint and give you deeper feedback than if they're just getting to know your system. As you saw, they gave us a 172-page report, and they go through with a fine-tooth comb. We want them to go through with a fine-tooth comb, and they do an excellent job for us. They're also priced competitively in the market. We've looked in a comparison to see other firms are priced higher, and we feel like we get a higher quality from this firm. So I know that I think it is something that we should consider. I think that we can consider it the next time that we go forward and consider a new auditor. But at this time, with the current staff that we have and the positive relationship that we have and the detailed feedback that they've given us, I also support the recommendation of my team to continue with this auditor. But I appreciate the conversation and the consideration.
I move that we approve the contract with Negro Negro.
I'll second.
Thank you both. Okay, I will start the vote. So, Trustee Favela,
Aye.
Trustee Moran,
Aye.
Trustee Hansen,
Aye.
Trustee Goldbeck,
Aye.
and I also vote aye, and so that passes. And with that, we'll go to the last page. And so this meeting is adjourned at, let's see, 7:32 p.m.